Since the 1950s, around 8.3 billion tons of plastic have been produced in our world. For a quick comparison, it is equal to the weight of 1 billion elephants, 822,000 Eiffel Towers, and 18 times the weight of our whole human population. Here are some of the pictures for your better understanding. Yes, it is real and harmful. Plastic pollution. Hello and welcome to Social Station. My name is Shashank Kaji and today let us talk about plastic pollution. So now let us run over some facts. 73% of beach litter worldwide is plastic, which includes cigarette butts, plastic bags, bottles, polythene bags, and you name it. Already when you are watching this video for maybe 120 seconds, already 6 million plastic bottles have been sold in the world. Worldwide, around 2 million plastic bags are sold every minute, which is harming not only our ecosystem, but it is harming our marine ecosystem and our biodiversity also. 91% of the plastic waste goes to the landfills or oceans. Only 8% to 9% is recycled or incinerated, due to which plastic is killing 1.1 million seabirds every year. And this is just a number of seabirds. There are more than 1 million species which are indirectly or directly getting affected due to our greed. Ultimately, it is affecting us only. How? We are eating plastic. The average person eats 70,000 microplastics every year. Now you might ask, from where does that plastic come from? 1/4 of the fishes which people eat have plastic in their gills, and 90% of our marine animals have already ingested the undigestible plastic. 83% of the world's tap water contains microplastics. The air we breathe is already polluted, and there is addition of 1008 microplastic per square meter. The innocent birds and animals are getting harmed because of us. The average time that a plastic bag is used for is... Editor, give me a drum roll.
Okay, sir.
12 minutes. See, plastic is very durable and very strong material, and very cheap one also. And there comes the role of single-use plastic. We are using plastic bag for maybe 15 minutes, but we are creating a problem of 400 years. Let's put that into perspective. It is 16 generations. 40% of the plastics are used for packaging purposes, and most of them are single-use plastic because we never use that packaging material once again. There are a lot of chemicals added to the plastic, obviously, and again all the chemicals are harmful, but especially the chemicals like BPA and DEHP, which makes plastic more transparent, flexible and attractive, which again scientists have found evidence of them interfering in our hormonal system and may cause cancer also. Oh, I am sorry, I was checking the full form of BPA and DHP. I know I am very bad scriptwriter. Over the past 50 years, the world's plastic pollution has doubled. Over 300 million tons of plastic has been produced in 2019 alone. And there are nearly 6.3 billion tons of plastic wasted, in which 1/3 of them are single-use plastic. So what did we do with all this waste? We just piled it up in our landfills or dumped it into the oceans. And how much do we dump? Nearly 8 million tons. And if we go on in the same speed, the weight of the plastic floating in the oceans will be higher than the total weight of all the aquatic animals in the oceans. 51 trillion particles of microplastics are floating in our oceans, which is easily edible by marine animals because they are so tiny. Like less than 5 millimeter. You might have seen mustard seeds. They are equal or even more smaller than mustard seeds. Now let us assume one mustard seed as one microplastic. Now assume 51 trillion particles of microplastic floating in our ocean. And microplastics constitute about only 10% of the waste in the ocean. 90% of the plastic waste are plastic bottles, plastic bag, polythene bags, or single-use plastic, etc. And microplastics in the ocean only constitute about 10% of the overall plastic pollution. Now imagine the scale of plastic pollution in the oceans. Oof. Lot of maths and science and geography in this video. enough of facts for this video. You can access for more facts from the link in the description. Nah, bhai, nah, it's enough. Enough. Now let us see why is plastic pollution happening in a very new manner in which nobody would have explained it to you. I'll mainly put more emphasis on human behavior and psychology. We use plastic because it is very inexpensive and very handy for our lifestyle. Because of plastic, our lives has become so easy. In this circumstance, we can see that our behavior towards plastic is related to easiness. And this easiness is enough to attract us for more and more usage of plastic. I have known this fact from this great book called Atomic Habits. I highly recommend this book. It is actually a personal development book, but I am using this for a plastic pollution video. I am so dumb. If you want to buy this book, an affiliate link will be in the description. Not only buying this book, if you buy anything, I'll get 1% or 2% support from you. And yes, the privacy will be with you. I'll not know the names of the buyers, so do check it out. Okay, back to the topic. Using plastic has become our habit because we unconsciously use plastic for unnecessary things. Our subconscious mind has connected easiness with plastics. In Atomic Habits, the author has written a beautiful quote. I'll just read it out for you. When changing your habits means challenging the tribe, change is unattractive. When changing your habits means fitting in with the tribe, change is attractive. When we see our elders, our friends using plastic, we tend to mix with the same culture because we will not have the guts to oppose the majority of the people who are using plastic. And it is not our fault. It is a human nature that we adapt ourselves according to our surroundings. Otherwise, survival will be difficult for us. We all know that using plastic is a very bad habit. But we still use it because many of the people around us are using it. And some people also say that, what happens when I alone use a plastic bag? It is just one bag, nothing happens. They don't realize that they are only answering their assumption. Single person, one polythene bag. 8 billion people, 8 billion polythene bags, and 365 days in a year. 8 billion multiplied by 365. So that is the result of that statement. See, moreover, when you become used to using plastic bags, we unconsciously use more and more plastic bags. Again, let me take an analogy from Atomic Habits. Let us consider you are contributing 1% of every day for a year. For a easy math. After a year, we are contributing more than 37% of plastic pollution. Now that 37% is a pretty vague number. And in the contrary, if we remove plastic from our lives 1% at a time, we will end up only polluting 0.03% of the pollution. Now after this video, you might get some motivation that I will never use plastic from this day. But that's also too wrong. Close to impossible. Because the statement I will not use plastic is outcome driven statement. That means we still have it in us that we are using plastic and are trying to remove plastic from our lives. And thus you have the mentality of leaving plastic. That sounds very good, but after 1 or 2 days, the willpower will be drained and we again will come back to the plastic lifestyle. But rather, if we say, I am not a plastic user, it becomes an identity driven statement, which means that you are changing your perspective of identity towards plastic. There is a beautifully written example in this book. Imagine two people resisting a cigarette. When offered a smoke, the first person says, "No thanks, I am trying to quit." It sounds like a reasonable response, but this person still believes they are a smoker. They are hoping their behavior will change while carrying around the same beliefs. The second person declines by saying, "No thanks, I am not a smoker." It's a small difference, but this statement signals a shift in identity. Smoking was a part of their former life, not their current one. They no longer identify as someone who smokes. And our minds don't like to oppose our identity. The same way how bad habits become our identity and it is very hard to remove them. Therefore, if we tell ourselves that we are not plastic users and refuse plastic and use some alternatives, we can save the world 1% at a time. Which brings us to our next topic. What are the easy and implementable solutions? Oof. After these many minutes of the video, let's take a break. we have an alternative to plastic bottles. We should use steel water bottles or 100% recycled plastic bottles. And also there is a new technology known as bioplastic. We can also use bioplastic water bottles.
Bioplastic, what's that?
Bioplastic materials are the plastics which are made from 100% environment friendly sources like sugarcane, bamboo, etc. And some of them are 100% biodegradable also. Unfortunately, alternatives are not easy. If you package food with cardboard, it won't stay fresh for long. Metals are heavy and expensive. Glass can easily shatter and paper gets easily damaged due to many reasons. There is no wonder why plastic became so popular. And moreover, making these alternatives may lead to less plastic pollution. But by making these alternatives like plastic bags, cardboard boxes, we need a lot of trees to be cut down. And this leads to global warming and all those stuffs which I will be covering in the next upcoming videos. Be subscribed. For example, making a single-use plastic bag is so cheap and the environmental cost is also very minimum. But equate this with the reusable cotton bag. You might need to use this cotton bag 7,100 times before it could have lesser environmental impact and cost effective also. I found a very good video by CNBC explaining the alternatives to plastic. I'll link it here. I cannot explain all these solutions in this video. I'll preserve it for my next video. Again, we must adopt good plastic habits by making them easy and obvious. Whenever we think of a packaging material, it should be obvious to not to use a plastic bag. Now we know that plastics are harmful and very bad for environment. But we cannot imagine syringes, PPE kits, masks, plastic gloves, medicine covers, etc. without plastic. Plastic is a good thing for us in a limit. We must find a good balance between plastic and other alternative resources. Because depending solely on alternative sources will create another set of problems for mankind. Yes, it will take 1 or 2 decades to overcome this 16 generation problem. But yes, mankind has overcome many problems. Together we can make our world better 1% every day. If you're liking this video, you're telling YouTube that this video is worth sharing. You are subscribing to the channel, you are supporting me and encouraging me to make more and more these kind videos. And if you're sharing this video, you are educating a person, you are awareing a person. You are one click away from educating thousands, not even thousands, millions also. I love the fragrance of this book.